I'm bringing you a Firebats video. This is using the new set, Legacy Nightmares, so everything has to be ancient. There's other Firebat builds out there, but they have a pet emphasis, using gargantuans or a tall man's finger zombie dog. I do not do that. This is strictly solo play, and it's all about your Firebats. Okay, so let's start with the gear. Now, I'm wearing a Mask of Jerem because I don't have an Ancient Andoryl's Visage with 5% damage, attack speed, critical hit chance, intelligence, and a socket. I do want one really bad. I know it'll increase my damage by a huge amount. For now, I'm just wearing this. This doesn't even really help me, but it's what I got. But you do, of course, want a Ancient Andoryl's helmet with the correct stats. Mantle of Channeling, this is important because we use Firebats, so this makes us do more damage and take less damage. Stats you want are Intelligence, Vitality, Defensive stat, and then reduce all cooldowns. Necklace, I'm not using a good one. This is just an alt of mine, and I don't feel like swapping gear. Some kind of immunity necklace would be really good, though. Cinder Coat, this is a terrible Cinder Coat. I'm finding it rather hard to get a good fire percent damage and resource cost reduction. This is just the best I got. I'm still searching for better ones. Ideally, you would want the life percent to be sockets. Bracers, these are my favorite things about the build. First off, look at all the primary stats. You get an extra primary stat with these bracers. And then the secondary, when you're channeling Firebats, you take 30% less damage and get a lot of life per hit. Really important part of the build. Tasker and Theo is the gloves you do not want. You want Mage Fist. I had some Ancient Mage Fist, but I recently went through my stash trying to clear up space because I have more characters, and I got rid of my Ancient Mage Fist. Really dumb, I'm really mad. Blizzard, give us more stash space. Thanks. But yeah, so Mage Fist with good fire percent damage, intelligence, attack speed, critical hit chance, critical hit damage is what you want. Now, we're running Belt of Transcendence because we're going to use Big Bad Voodoo, and we don't want to have to use the Fetish Psychophant passive or the Fetish Army ability. And in terms of stats, you just want intelligence and 3 defensive stats. And then we got the Legacy Nightmare rings. You have to have them ancient. Well, you really need them ancient. And you want triple DPS stats. Kind of hard to do. And pants, it's not really too important what pants you use. There's nothing that really drastically affects the build. But if you were all about doing as much damage as possible, you want to get some pox folds. Just because they'll do an AoE damage while you're standing still AoEing people. Now, I'm using the staff instead of having it in my cube. If you do have an ancient Star Elemental Kukri and an ancient offhand to go with it, you want to go that route. You'll attack faster, and you'll have an extra ancient, so you'll get another 100% increase and an additional 4% damage decrease. Oh, damage taken decreased because of the Legacy Nightmares. But anyways, I'm pretty happy with this staff. So for example, look at the life per hit on it, 35k. That's stacked with the bracers. I'm over 100k life per hit just from those 2 items. And it increases Firebat damage, but still doesn't compare up to having a one-hander and an off-hander. Stat-wise though, if you can, you want attack speed over percent damage increase. Faster we attack, the more life per hit we proc, great things happen. So remember, this staff makes your Firebats attack 100% faster and cost 75% left. Usually people do cube this one, I'm not though. And then boots, there's not really any mandatory boots you need. I like these because we're standing still channeling, so we're getting the life regeneration stacking up pretty easily. Let's go over gems. This is my alt character, so he's not using high level gems. And I absolutely hate having to take the time to unsocket gems, put them in my stash, log on a different character to grab them. I refuse to do that. I'll just level up my own gems. So these are low, but Bane of the Trapped is mandatory. I'm running Bane of the Stricken because this build, it struggles a little bit on Rift Guardians. It's not as fast as some other builds. But I'm debating switching this one out for Taeguk for the increased armor and damage. And then Esoteric Alteration, mine's only level 14. I think this is important because once you get a high enough percent reduction, you can probably end up standing in those arcane sentries and still channel and heal yourself through the damage. Same with some other elemental attacks. Pretty important. Okay, so that's it for the gems there. In the cube, Star Metal Kukri is what I have, but if you have an ancient one, you should wear that one and then put the staff in the cube. And we're going to run Oculacaris because we don't run out of resource, so we keep that up all the time. And at the moment, I'm running the Cold Immune necklace, but I'm thinking about swapping over to Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. The reason why is we attack so fast with Firebats that this is going to be proccing like probably multiple times a second, like probably 3 times a second. So all our abilities are just getting reset super fast, which is great because we get jaunts up a lot quicker, and Piranhados for gripping people a lot quicker, and our Horror 5 will be guaranteed to stay up the whole time. A little side note, if you do grab Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac, you can probably take out Grave Injustice and pick up Jungle Fortitude. Because we're attacking so fast, I'm sure you won't even need Grave Injustice. Okay, so that's the cube, stats, gear. Let's go into skills. First thing, Piranhado, we need this because we want people stacked up so we can hit them. Our main damage is Firebats, Cloud of Bats Ruin. Remember, it starts off doing 425% damage and goes up to 850 once you channel for 3 seconds. So do your best not to move, but sometimes you have to. Spirit Walk, Jaunt, pretty much standard in almost every build. Soul Harvest Languish, this gives us increased damage and increased resistances and armor, so pretty important ability. Now I'm running Slam Dance for the increased damage, but when I start doing higher, greater rifts, like in the 70s, I'm probably going to swap to Ghost Trance, just for the heal and damage reduction. Some people run builds where they take Rain Dance, and they'll take Pierce of Hell instead of Blood Ritual. That works too, I guess. I still prefer this way. It's whatever. Last skill is Horrify, Frightening Aspect. It's a nice CC. It's cool to just run into a pack of mobs and CC them for a few seconds, and then you also get that damage reduction from the armor increase. Really nice. Okay, that's pretty much the build. As I was saying, there's many alternatives. Some people actually do use a pet-based build, so where these Masquerade and Taskin, they would work out really well. They'll run with like Cold Gargantuans, or a Tall Man's Finger Zombie Dog, many different things. But I like this build, it's fun. You should definitely give it a try. It's not going to be top tier rank 1 Witch Doctor, but it's pretty fun to do something different. That's why I like the Legacy Nightmares set. Alright guys, if you have any different like alternatives to the build, let me know. It's fun to try different things. That's the whole great thing about Legacy Nightmares is we have so many different builds that there can be now. A lot of people are too busy focusing on what's in the top leaderboards that a lot of builds aren't even being discovered. So, keep the mind open. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you did like, please comment, like, or subscribe. See ya.